Good morning, sunshine yogis. Let's rise and shine. This is going to be a sweet morning practice designed to energize you and get your brain fired up. We're going to begin gently on our backs, so I will meet you there in the middle of your mat. Draw your knees into your chest once you get there. We're just going to coax the body open. It's first thing in the morning. We're a little stiff, just getting out of bed. Draw those knees in and gently rock your sacrum along the low part of your back, side to side. And then draw the knees a little bit further away and just let your tailbone relax to the ground, feeling the entire length of your spine along the mat. And hopefully you have your mat right by your bed. That makes the morning practice a lot easier to commit to. Just keep it rolled out and open and ready to go. Now bend your knees, slide your hands in between your legs. We're coming into happy baby pose. So you're going to reach for the outer edges of your feet, or if that's not possible yet, grab onto your ankles or your shins. Flex your feet up towards the sky and just draw your knees down towards the outer edges of your body. Keep your tailbone connecting to the mat. And widen your knees as much as possible to get right into those hips. Yes. Soften your jaw. Keep your eyes closed if you'd like, and just breathe into the sensation you're feeling here. If you've got your hands on the outer edges of your feet, really tug down so that you feel your knees drawing towards the floor. And if you'd like, go ahead and extend just your right leg. Try to straighten it as much as possible as you press that right heel away. And you want to change your grip, bringing it to the ball of your foot as you press out and away through that right heel. Feeling a deep stretch in your inner groin, your hamstrings, all along your inner leg line. Keeping a nice relaxed face and facial muscles. And then we'll do this on the other side, pressing out through that left heel, maybe changing up the grip so that you're reaching for the ball of your left foot and pressing that left heel away. Big stretch here. So we've officially entered back to school season. It's also Virgo season in the zodiac. And Virgo loves nothing more than to create healthy new habits. Let's try extending both legs here. So press the heels away from you, open into a wide straddle. So maybe we can commit to keeping this healthy practice as part of our daily routine. Virgos would love that. You would make a Virgo happy if you did something along those lines, thinking of your well-being and starting your day with yoga. Good. Come into a figure four now. As we release that, let's bring the left ankle to the right thigh. Go ahead and thread your hands behind your right thigh. Draw it in as you flex both feet. And use your left elbow to press that left inner thigh away. Now, if this is too much for you already this morning, an option is to drop the right foot and then use your left hand to just press that left inner thigh away. You're still getting that IT band, that outer hip stretch. So that's an option if that's something you'd like to do this morning. Now, another option, if you have traditional figure four, is to go ahead and extend your right leg. So again, we'll take a little hamstring stretch here. And if you've got that going, maybe roll out the ankle in both directions. I know for me, I can always get a good pop or a click or a release, some stuck energy here. And first thing in the morning, we can expect our bodies to feel a little bit stiff, right? We've been still overnight, so the body's just getting warmed up. All right, both feet to the mat as we release out of that. Reach for the backs of your heels and make sure they line up with your sit bones. Then as you're ready, you'll press into those heels and begin to float your hips up towards the sky for bridge pose. Oh, this should feel really nice. Walk your hands together if you'd like, interlace them, and just press the backs of the arms into the mat as you stretch the front side of your body. Try to lengthen from your hip crease and the front of the hips towards your knees. And draw your ribs gently towards your chest. Release the arm bind if you have it and slowly roll through your spine, just releasing one vertebra at a time until you land and ground that tailbone. Oh, nice. Now switching sides for figure 4, right ankle to left thigh. Thread the hands through, draw that left thigh in towards you as you press that right thigh away. Option again is to drop the left foot and use your right hand to gently open up your right thigh. Feeling this in the glutes on the right side, your IT band. And if you'd like that additional hamstring stretch, let's go ahead and extend the left leg up to the sky and we'll roll out that ankle in both directions. Oh, feels really good. Keep your jaw relaxed, nice and easy here. Good, and then releasing. Now, take your feet as wide as your mat, and we're just gonna windshield wiper the legs from side to side. Maybe grab opposite elbows overhead as you do this. Feeling this in the hips and the outer hip band, a little twist in the low back. Once you come over to that right side, let's land here. Pick up the right foot and let it just rest on top of your left thigh. Now bring that right arm overhead and you're gonna grab onto the right wrist with the left hand. You're gonna take your gaze to the left and you're just gonna stretch it over, opening up the right side body while we get this really nice stretch in our IT band on the left side. Beautiful. We'll unwind back to center. Take your feet wide and then drop both knees off to the left. Picking up that left foot now, let it rest on top of your right thigh. Turn your gaze to the right as you grab your left wrist with your right hand and you tug it off to the right. Feeling a stretch now all the way from your left hip along the left ribs and out through the left arm. Breathing into this shape. Oh, feels really good. Awesome, guys. And then release, come back to center. Draw those knees into the chest and tuck your chin towards your chest as well. We're going to rock forward and back, just starting to massage the muscles along the length of the spine, and just to give us a little wake up as well. It feel really fun to do this a couple of times. And the next time you come up, we're going to land with our feet on the mat. Our knees are going to stay bent. Place your hands on your shins just below your kneecaps. And as you breathe in, lengthen your spine, root through your sit bones, and reach up through the crown of the head. Let your shoulders drop down your back and lift the center of your chest. As you exhale, tuck your chin towards your chest, lean all the way back as you hollow out your belly and you round your spine, feeling your shoulder blades protract on your back. Good, again, inhale, come forward. Feel each vertebra stack on top of the other as you lift your spine. Exhale as you round back. Feel the articulation as you flex your spine open here. One more round. Inhale, lengthen, finding cat pose in the seated, or cow pose, excuse me, in the seated variation. And then exhale into cat pose, rounding back. Good. Come on up and let's swing around into a tabletop position. We'll begin stacking those shoulders right over our wrists as we fan our hands nice and wide. Same thing, hips and knees are going to stack as well as you create this squared off shape. And then send your right leg straight back, flexing the toes down towards the mat. Find your abdominals, hug them in towards center. Take a breath in as you push through that back heel. Exhale, draw your knee to your nose, round and curl in, lifting your belly button up towards your spine. Inhale to press it back. Having a little core awareness is a great way to start your day. Exhale as you pull in. Last time, send it back. And this time you're going to step your foot up by your thumb. Maybe walking your back knee back. Coming into a kneeling lunge to open up our hip flexors. You want to make sure your right knee and ankle are stacked. Draw your heart forward as you melt into your hips. Another variation is to stack both hands on top of your thigh and press into them to bring your shoulders over your hips, drawing your rib cage back and away from your thigh bone. This is another variation. Do what feels right to you this morning. Keep breathing and relaxing into your left hip flexor. Good. Release the hands down and shift the hips back as you straighten your front leg for a half split here. Concentrating now on our hamstring as we pull that right hip crease back, maybe pull the right toes back. Big stretch here, breathe into it. Alternatively, you can ground your right big toe and feel a big stretch across the front of your ankle. That's really yummy too. Beautiful. Walk the hands forward, rebend into the knee, and let's lift that back left knee and press the back heel away. Bringing that leg to as straight as possible, and we're going to ground through the left hand while we lift the right, coming into a twist. Wrapping the left ribs underneath you, opening up the chest, and then just letting that top arm fall back, down, and around into a couple of big circles. Opening up our shoulder joint. Oh, yeah. Good. And then frame out the foot. Let's step back to downward facing dog. Right foot back to join the left. Bend the knees as much as you need to, lifting the tailbone. As you ground through your hands, send your ribs back towards your thighs. Maybe move a little bit here, whatever feels good. Take a deep breath in as you lengthen. Exhale to float those knees back to the mat. Let's set up for tabletop on the other side. Taking our hip opening sequence here. Sending that left leg back, flexing the toes down, squaring the hips towards the mat. Big breath in. Exhale, find knee to nose. As you round and curl, press into your hands and protract those shoulder blades. Inhale to send the leg back, kicking through the heel. Exhale as you round in. Last time, press back through the heel. And then this time, step the foot up towards your thumb. Walk that right knee back if you need to and come up onto your finger pads. Stretching into your right hip flexor this time. Breathing into this variation or stacking yourself. Pressing into that front thigh, sending rib cage away from the thigh bone. Straightening the arms if possible. Letting that front right hip start to open up. Beautiful. And release. Frame out the foot. Let's shift the hips back as we straighten the front leg, coming into our half split. Toes can remain grounded or pull them back towards your shin. Coming into a deeper stretch, sending breath and awareness into your hamstring. Now check in and just notice how much more awake and more connected you feel, right? Already just through these simple movements. Such a beautiful way to start your day. All right, let's lift the back knee, round the right palm, and let's twist open to the left here. Stacking your shoulders and your wrists. Roll your right ribs underneath you. Roll that left shoulder back. And then let the arm just fall into deep circles. Really, really opening up your shoulder joint. One more. And then frame out that front foot. Let's step back to downward facing dog. Pressing your hips nice and high. Take a deep breath in. On the exhale, roll yourself forward into plank pose, stacking your shoulders over your wrists. Press your heels back and away from you. If you're not ready to have your knees lifted, then go ahead and ground them down. But use this moment to empower yourself, really feeling your strength as you press into your hands. You hug all your energy into the midline. You firm up your thighs, your quads, your legs, your belly. Nice, strong plank. If you can do this first thing in the morning, you've already aced your day. Let's rock forward on the toes and lower all the way down to the belly. Slide your forearms forward, keep your palms grounded. Stack your elbows underneath your shoulders and ground the front of the hips As you energetically drag your elbows back towards you, they're not going to move. Coming into Sphinx pose. Let your shoulder blades release down your back. Lengthen the sides of your neck. Feel that deep stretch from your navel up to your collarbones. Awesome. Now let's bring the left forearm to rest parallel to the top of the mat. Bend your right knee and reach back for your right foot with your right hand. Gently draw your right heel towards your right outer hip. Big quadricep stretch here. Also a nice shoulder opener, especially if you roll that right shoulder back and you keep your chest slightly lifted. Breathe into this. Try to let the front of your hip get soft and go a little slack. Big stretch, I know. Let's gently release and switch it out. The right forearm parallel to the top of the mat. You're going to reach back for the left foot with the left hand and then draw that heel anywhere close to the left outer hip, wrapping the left shoulder back and just breathing. It's a big stretch, so do what you can do. Remember, we're not forcing the body open, we're just coaxing it open, right? Warming it up, getting prepared for a beautiful day ahead. Release that, hands alongside the ribs. Let's go ahead and press back into child's pose. Feel that nice counter stretch in your low back here. Back to downward facing dog. Go ahead and lift the hips high. And then we'll walk it up towards the top of the mat, arriving in a forward fold. Just let your upper body dangle here. Feel that deep stretch along the back side of your body. Feel the benefits of going upside down, just letting your head get heavy, right? Relaxing, clearing out the brain. And then you'll take your hands back behind you, either find a clasp or grab opposite elbows. And then just try to stretch the front of the chest open by squeezing your shoulder blades onto your back, either variation. Wrapping the front of the shoulders back, opening up the chest. Keep whatever arm bind you have, ground through the soles of your feet, and just roll yourself up to stand. Keeping that arm bind. Keep opening up the chest. And once you stand up, just press the knuckles down or grab onto those elbows. Get one more deep stretch here. And then exhale to release, let it go. Nice work. Let's take a teeny tiny balance. Coming into tree pose, because there's nothing better to ground you than coming into a balancing pose. We'll use our left leg as our standing leg and bring the sole of the right foot somewhere along that left leg. So just avoid the kneecap. You can start low if that feels good. Or if you're ready to place the foot up on the inner thigh, do that. Mind the pose and know that this is a standing hip opener as well. So your right knee is going to want to be open and out to the right. Finding prayer with the hands, or maybe you're ready to open the arms wide, drinking in all the goodness that the day will bring you. Beautiful. And then bringing the hands back and releasing and shaking that out. And we'll take it to the other side. Now remember that balancing can be tricky any time of day, but it could be especially tricky in the morning when our joints aren't completely warmed up and we aren't really focusing yet. So just give yourself a little kindness and don't beat yourself up if you're not completely in it. It's a practice. And if you can commit to doing this every morning, I guarantee you will find some really beautiful benefits. All right, wherever you were with tree, let's let that go and come back to the top of the mat. Let's take a big, beautiful breath in as we sweep our arms up and overhead. I'm so ready to meet the day. Exhale as you forward fold, soften the knees as much as you need to. Come up onto your finger pads and your toes. So lift your heels off the mat. Keep your chin tucked towards your chest. As you exhale, you're just going to drop your sit bones down towards your heels, finding a little roundness in your spine in the seed pose. Also a nice stretch for the feet, as well as a way to decompress your spine. Maybe set an intention for your day here in this beautiful kind of inward facing pose. And then walk the hands back to allow the sit bones to ground. And take a seated position, whatever feels good for you. I think it's really nice to just take a moment seated and grounded before you kind of jump into the rest of your morning. Bringing the hands together in front of the chest. Close your eyes and just give yourself a pat on the back. Thank yourself for showing up and for committing to this practice. The more you do it and add it in, the more you will reap the benefits. Your well-being, your state of mind, your presence will all improve. Let's bring our thumbs to our third eye center and we'll bow to one another. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. I hope that was a good way to rise and shine. I hope that you'll find a way to add it into your daily routine and go thank and hug a Virgo for making being healthy a virtuous and a good thing. Find some sunshine, do your thing, and I hope to see you again. Please like, subscribe, share. Namaste, my yogis.